Jerida, our tech queen, are we ready to go?
Good morning. You are all set and ready to go.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerida. Good morning. Today is January 6th, 2026. Still getting used to saying that. Um, Today is Public Safety Committee meeting. We are about to get started here. I would like to call the meeting to order and just do a quick round of introductions. We have committee members Tiffany McGinnis and Dr. Gail Harris. We have counselors Jason Wang, uh, Mayor Sherry Cantor, and I think I saw John Lyons. There he is, Mr. Lyons. And I'm not sure. I think I've got all the counselors. Then we have Chief Riddick, and I saw Chief Priest coming from a satellite location, it appears. And who am I missing here? I see Fire Marshal Jamaldi. Who am I missing?
AC Terra,
Oh,
AC Silver, and
thank you.
DC Pacheco.
Great. Thank you, Town Manager Rick Ledwith, who is also with us, along with Jeremiah Reinheimer. Thank you all. Just as we get started, I would like to ask that mics be on mute when not speaking. The questions be held till the end of each report, because today I think we just have reports going. Committee members will go first with their questions and comments, and all comments or questions should be focused on the information directly from the reports. And with that, I'd like to go ahead and get started. Business items, now that we've called the meeting to order, we have the minutes. We have approval of minutes. If there are no questions on the minutes, may I ask for a motion to approve?
So moved.
And may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And do we have a vote to say aye on the minutes, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. And with that, I think we move on to our first report. And unless they've made a side deal, I have Chief Riddick going first.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I'll defer to the town manager a chance if he has anything he'd like to say, and if not, I will go into my report, Mr. Manager.
Oh, thank you, Chief. Yeah, I appreciate that. Just wanted to really just take a moment to recognize our fire department just for a moment. Now, I think you'll see why when we get to their report. It's been a extremely busy past month. But also want to thank them for their response for the electrical fire at the Fellowship Housing Complex the day after Christmas. As I think everyone knows now, they acted very quickly to contain the fire and then immediately shifted their focus to life safety. And we needed to evacuate 18 residents from the newer building. Several of whom were dependent on oxygen. So certainly their professionalism, calm and compassion demeanor was appreciated by everyone there and really ensured their safety at all times. And this response also, I think, highlighted the incredible teamwork across our organization, especially the day after Christmas. Our police department certainly was on scene. The senior center had to open its doors and provide immediate shelter, which, as folks know, it's located right across the street. Our Office of Emergency Management coordinated that response and transportation to the hotel for the evacuees. And then our building department was on site for most of that day and the weekend as well, along with our fire marshal's office, so to ensure that the structure was safe. So really very proud of how so many departments came together in an emergency situation to support our residents. So really was a public service really at its best. So thank you, Chief, for giving me that opportunity. I will turn it back to Chief Riddick to continue with the police report.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, and Happy New Year to everyone. And it was my hope and prayer that everyone had a good time to decompress, enjoy the holidays with friends and family. And for the public safety personnel, EMS, PD, fire, who had to work through those times, we appreciate their sacrifice and their duty. With that being said, getting to the report, motor vehicle stops for 2025. We had 9,653. And when we ended the year in 2024, we had 7,697. So kudos to the PD and those officers out there who continually to increase our efforts for public safety through motor vehicle enforcement in conjunction with Vision Zero, education piece, and just overall awareness. So notable police activities in the patrol division on December 13th, we had a motor vehicle stop, and during that motor vehicle stop, a firearm, somebody is not muted. A firearm was located, and the operator was charged with DUI, interfering, failure to drive right, possession of drug paraphernalia, a high capacity magazine, carrying a firearm under the influence, and failure to carry a firearm permit, and was held on a $150,000 bond. On December 19th, with the utilization of our LPR system, our license plate reader system, we had a hit on a stolen motor vehicle. With the efforts of our auto theft task force and the Hartford region, we were able to conduct a motor vehicle stop. The operator was arrested. The operator and passenger actually tried to run away. Their charges were as follows: arrested and charged with interfering, third-degree larceny, larceny of a motor vehicle, reckless driving, failure to drive right, failure to maintain lane, traveling too fast for conditions, improper turns, and a whole bunch of other things. The individual was held at a $10,000 bond, and the passenger was also held for larceny motor vehicle charge in first degree and larceny third interfering, and was held for $5,000 bond. And going forward on December 21st, another really good motor vehicle stop, and during that, the utilization of our canine officers and our canine were able to conduct a motor vehicle stop. And during this, the operator was charged with illegal drug possession, possession with intent to sell, legal possession of a motor vehicle, a high capacity magazine, operating without a license. The individual was held on a $500,000 bond. So there's a couple highlights. The rest of the report has been submitted of the really good work that we're doing in the area. And kudos to those officers and K9. And sir, that concludes my report for this morning.
Very succinct. Thank you, Chief Riddick.
Yep.
I appreciate you, and it sounds like you too had a busy month. And it's going around. So with that said, I think we'll just jump right in and talk to Chief Priest, who, Chief or Town Manager Ledwith stole all my thunder, and I was had a little speech, but for the sake of not repeating him, and we have chatted, so I will go ahead and throw it to you, Chief Priest.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My apologies for not being in the office today, but I figured in the spirit of giving, I would keep this head cold that I have at home with me. I'm pleased to be here. And I'd like to echo the town manager's remarks as well. Just a kudos to the folks working throughout the holiday and who have seen an uptick in more serious incidents, both fires and motor vehicle accidents, within West Hartford and out up on the highway and everything too. So a nod to those responders as well, because obviously we're seeing a lot of things that the average person doesn't. Um, so, thankful to them, especially when they're working holidays. I would also echo Chief Riddick's kind of comments too, which is this is really a team effort. What makes public safety so strong here in West Hartford isn't just at the emergency incidents, but the relationships that we have around the outside of them and preparedness and the fact that we come to public safety and say nice things about each other. But so we closed out our year with 10,252 incidents, running very consistent percentages as previous years. About 67% of those are medical and 33% are fire. That is an uptick from last year. In the last month, we have seen that serious activity is up. A quick shout out also, anytime you're seeing a fire, we have, tremendous work in our operations division, putting the fire out, but I never want to miss our marshals on the tail end of it too, who are left to cause and origin investigations as well. And uniquely in this particular month as well, the town manager grabbed it, but I did want to highlight it. It was the first time that we activated our CERT team and our initial response group to handle first to do some support for the Connecticut State Police out on the highway while they were investigating a fatal motor vehicle accident, to be able to provide for their care and comfort out there on a cold and long night, and also to help with the relocations and partnerships with other folks when we had the relocation up at Stark Health. Pleased to report we'll have a promotional ceremony next Tuesday. Cordially invite all the council members to come. We'll be promoting two folks, Troy Shipley to captain and Eric Wilson to lieutenant. That's at 4:30. I believe that's in room 400. I'm glad to have you join us there. Closing out some of the items from last month, we have selected somebody who is in a conditional offer and hope to send that person to the Fire Academy in February. As far as other notable projects or activity this month, certainly we've submitted our CIP budget. That takes a lot of time, and one of those large items that we'll be discussing more is our training tower. We have Tecton now under contract. That's an architect, and we've just selected an owner representative who will help us facilitate that construction process. We'll be working to execute the contract on that person very shortly, and thanks to our procurement folks for facilitating. We're working very hard on our fire station renovations. We've been navigating some permit issues, and I'd like to take just a quick moment just to shout out to Lieutenant Craig Astle. He serves in a role called the facility liaison, which means he navigates these issues for us on a daily basis. He's been doing a tremendous amount of work with our facilities and the contractor who's been hired to do those renovations. So thanks to Craig. As reported last month, we're in our last few days or weeks of putting our new truck 3 online. That's another large capital item. We'll be discussing more about apparatus and the pressures on the apparatus market coming into capital budget season. And very happy also that our EMS officer and community support officer have just finished training about several hundred people in CPR. I apologize, I don't have the exact number, but it was a lot of school nurses. They had to, they went around with that. And they just finished it up. So, in closing, again, I think the chief and I, we do our best to do succinct reports and everything, and try to give you a perspective of what's happening in our world. And I know I'm sure it's the same for the chief, but we'd invite any of our new council members, especially who haven't seen what we do on a regular basis or met our people, come take a ride along with us, see what it is that we do. Especially as we come into the budget season. So you know what you'll be talking with us about. And that concludes my report, and thank you very much.
Another quick and succinct one. So, Chief Priest, if a counselor was to want to take a ride, and actually this question is for you as well, Chief Riddick, would we arrange that through Mr. Ledwith, or how would we go about that?
You can just call the chief's office. We'll set it up. 860-570-8960, and we'll set that up. No issues.
Great, thank you, Chief Riddick.
Yep, same for us.
Okay, great. So I'm going to jump back and do questions for the chiefs. And I will go ahead and start with our committee members first. If you have any questions, I don't see hands up, but let me know. I'm
Yeah,
going to guess that Dr. Harris, you have one.
I do. I don't know if you can see my hand, but it's
Oh, I don't, but I saw you go off mute. I may have a hand raising problem again, so we'll figure that out.
Okay, thank you. So this is through you, Mr. Chair. Um, I was wondering, Chief, if you could elaborate a little bit more on the significant difference in motor vehicle stops from the two, I believe those are over 2 different years, which is, I think, more than a 20% difference. I curious, is that a change in criteria, or what would you attribute that market increase to?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. It's been a focus. We've got our marching orders year over end from the town manager and the mayor, especially with our focus on public safety and motor vehicle enforcement, the education piece. So since COVID, we've increased every single year. And this year's increase is a continuation and a focus on that. We've also increased by 2 the number of people we have inside our traffic division in an effort to also focus on motor vehicle enforcement.
Okay, thank you. So generally, we're talking about routine, like motor vehicle stops, people running red lights, things like that. That's what that
Um,
number represents.
yes, just not routine because it's just
Mhm.
it is what we do, but not routine. But yes, it's DUI enforcement. It's everything. Any type of motor vehicle stop. That's what that include. It does not include motor vehicle accidents. This is just motor vehicle stops.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilor McInnes, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Just wanted to say thank you again. That has been echoed by everyone else for all the hard work you guys have done, and especially right after Christmas. I know you guys would like to have some downtime too with your families, and unfortunately, a lot of times that doesn't happen. So I really appreciate it and just wanted to let you all know that.
Thank you, Councilor McGinnis. Are there any others? Because as I mentioned, it may appear that I'm not getting raised hands showing on my.
Mr. Chairman, quick question, if okay with you. John Lyons here.
Okay, John, Councilor Lyons, go ahead.
All right, thank you through you, Mr. Chair, to Chief Priest. On fellowship, obviously that was really upsetting, to see, and thankfully, quick and swift action by the fire department, saved a much bigger situation. It was, from what I understand, I guess it was a something inside a wall or a ceiling that caused the fire. Do I have that right? Okay. What I guess I'm nervous is it whatever it was, have the matching ones in other units been inspected? Was it like a construction issue? Like this can't happen again, can it?
Through you, Mr. Chair, thank you, Councilor Lyons, very much for the question. Respect it. So currently, it is an open investigation. Our fire marshal's office is working in collaboration with the building officials and with the Starkel management. I will pass it over to Chief Grimaldi to provide any other comments, but I would overlay it with which is we never get ahead of ourselves before something is closed. But I respect the question, and let me see if Chief Grimaldi can give us a little bit more insight.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for the question. Through you, Mr. Chair. So we're working, as the chief said, closely with the building department and electrical contractor to identify the cause of the fire. And right now we have it limited down to a single wire that caused the fire. Could have been a stressed wire. It could have been stressed on the job somewhere at one point. That's what the electrical contractor is thinking, and the building department. We think it's a one-time event. they're going back, and the building department is having to check other panels just to make sure that we don't have current across other, they'll call it the neutral side of the wiring, which is what happened here. And right now, I haven't heard any reports that there are any other issues. It was just, it was able to be contained to that one unit, 105.
Terrific. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. I hope I didn't get out in front of my skis asking the question at this point. And then through you, Mr. Chair, to the town manager, you had said, looking here, I think you said 18 folks were displaced originally. How many have been returned? And then housing has obviously been made available to anybody who's still displaced?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, my understanding is everybody is back in their units now. Chief can correct me, but Mr. Grilli, the executive director over at Fellowship, arranged for the housing for the residents. His team did a great job as well in ensuring that everyone had a place to stay. But my understanding is everyone back, Chief? The last update I had, I believe everybody was.
Yes, I believe everybody except for that one particular unit. But while we are on the management of Starkel, I would like to throw a significant kudos their direction. You know, we've seen this in local areas around the outside. Relocations tend to create some challenges. They were quick and immediate partners trying to arrange, you know, the relocation. They worked very, very collaboratively with us, and actually that significantly helped the rest of the evening go by. So I would extend my thanks to them for that. And then Chief Grimaldi, you would know any better if there was any additional relocations. I believe they came back within the day as soon as they secured that the next day.
That's correct, Chief. I think it may be 2 units affected, Unit 105, and then they just wanted to check the electrical system in the apartment above because the service line was affected. I'll have to talk to the building department. I think everybody's back except for 105.
Thank you all. Thank you very, very much. Incredible work. And thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. And it was my understanding as well that the unit that is displaced was given other quarters within Fellowship, so they're not displaced per se as just not in their original unit. I could be wrong there.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Wang, I think you might have had a question before you went off screen.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Councillor Lyons asked my question. So thank you, but thank you so much, you guys. Although I guess maybe I have a second question if through you, Chairman Walters. For Chief Priest, is that fire tower going to be used kind of like every day, or is there enough downtime that it can be shared with local, with surrounding fire departments just to kind of even out some of the cost of that tower? Has that been looked into, or is that just not practical?
So here, the best way of answering that question, Councilor Wang, is we will obviously work in partnership with all of our mutual aid around the outside of us. Many of our neighbors do have some training towers, and we have availed ourselves, especially of Newington. As I've said in some of my previous reports, we're very thankful to them for having been able to use their facility. As it pertains to our specific training needs here in the town of West Hartford, we receive ISO, which is the Insurance Services Organization, credit for our insurance rates for having a training tower in here. And anytime we're sending our personnel outside of town for training, that will change the configuration of our response force, whereas we have both contractual reasons and also pragmatic public safety reasons why we don't send our on-duty folks outside of town for that. So I think off the hitch, I don't believe that the costs are going to be shared by any of the other towns, but I would relish the opportunity to talk with the committee, in more detail about that as we go through the budget process.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? I apologize because I'm not seeing the hands up.
Yeah, I have another question.
Yes, Dr. Harris.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, to Chief Priest. I believe you said that, I think you said 30% of your, I don't know what the word is, but is medical related. Um, and I have actually a couple of questions on that. One is, does the fire department go to every single medical call that's comes through? And if you do, or if you don't, I'm wondering why that is. Like, why do we send the fire department to all of these medical calls when it seems like the police department goes as well? It seems almost like we're almost like sending two sets of people that to the same types of medical calls.
Through you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Dr. Harris. I appreciate that question. So we are part of an emergency medical services system. So what I mean by that is there's a lot of different elements, and I could probably talk for hours on this. I'll do my best to be succinct. And obviously, we could take this up at another committee meeting. But very specifically, the fire department does not go on every single medical call in the town. We use a national standard called emergency medical dispatch. It gives me an opportunity to thank our colleagues in our dispatch area under the department. So when a 911 call comes in, the caller is asked a series of questions according to a national protocol and a protocol that's overseen by our physician. The correct resources are then dispatched at the correct priority. So, for example, there are calls where we will send a fire truck and a paramedic, both lights and siren, with the police department and an ambulance. That would be for something like a cardiac arrest. As we move ourselves down into our lower acuity calls, um, your toe pains or something like that. No, the fire department doesn't necessarily go on every single call. There's a small criteria that we've identified that don't require that. But there is some statutory and regulatory provisions that are around this related to the Office of Emergency Medical Services. So it gets a little bit, the question becomes a little bit more complicated as we answer it. But you may recall from my last report, we are talking about something called the nurse navigation system, which would be a pilot program in consultation with our ambulance provider, where we might be able to take some of these lower acuity calls and move them off to an alternate care destination. And the whole purpose of this is to make sure that our fire resources are in place when there's a fire emergency and to properly use the medical resources that we have available to us. So hopefully that answers. It's a complicated question. I'd love to talk more about it, but I don't want to take so much time to dig into it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It does seem to me like some of these lower acuity calls that would be sort of a waste of resources to send a fire truck, to, because I've seen it, with my own parents when they call, like, we're sending out a fire truck, which could possibly be needed elsewhere. But yeah, I appreciate your answer. Thank you.
If I may, just to quickly follow up that, a lot of the questions come into this really have to do with what the caller says at the time of they call it interrogation, when they're going through with our dispatchers. So for example, if they say they're shortness of breath or there's something, even if that's not really a primary complaint, once they get queued into a different thing, it will set a different resource. But we can go over, we carry a lot of data on this, both from the dispatchers and also in our reports. I'd be glad to discuss it further with you. Thank you, Dr. Harris.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both for the question and the answer. Are there other questions? I'm hearing none. And I know I skipped over. I thank both chiefs and the staff, our team, our public safety team. I've told them both we rock, basically. They do a great job, sometimes a thankless one or an invisible one, but they do it with professionalism, and they do it, and they come back here with a smile on their face. And I do appreciate that. And I do appreciate all that they do, our entire team. I'm going to go ahead and at this point skip back because I did skip over communications. And Manager Ledwith, do we have any communications?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I covered it. Thank you.
You got it. Okay. And I guess, I mean, that was pretty quick here. If there are no other questions, I think we're to the end. Do we have any future agenda items? Again, it must be too early. It's 8:39 and it's still a little chilly. We're all a little frozen here. So, all right. Well, it is 8:39. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. And I guess we can go ahead and adjourn. Yes? All right, great. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a
Thanks,
great
everyone.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you.